All right, welcome to Highly Inappropriate. This past weekend, we filmed the 100th episode of Highly Inappropriate, something that me and Matt got going in this very own garage. I was sitting where Josh is, Matt was sitting where I am, and for the 101st episode, we don't know where our other host is. Our other co-host, he's missing. He got too drunk at the 100th episode. We have not seen him or talked to him since. His family's very worried. We're thinking about putting a reward out for him if anybody's seen his whereabouts. I don't know what we could offer. Maybe one of these signs that he got us for the 100th episode. Or somebody if they see Matt. But this is highly inappropriate.
He just didn't think that? Did you think he didn't think that we could do any better than episode 100? He just quit.
I think episode 100 was definitely. I don't know if he thinks we might have peaked.
It's a good chance, and I'm guessing that $1,400 stimmy check probably didn't help matters any. Who knows where he's at?
But yeah, man, we don't have no intro music, so we're just gonna fucking go right into it, boys.
We're just gonna get right into it, you know.
Yeah, that's usually where the intro music starts. We had to throw Matt's punchlines in there. We're gonna try to hit all of Matt's punchlines, so it feels like he's still here with us, ladies and gentlemen. Because everybody is wondering where he's at, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But how about the 100th episode, boys?
Fantastic.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
What did you guys think of Devon and Griffin? Give me honest feedback.
They were really good. Really, really, really good. The first comedian had me laughing pretty hard, man.
The bit where he takes his shoes off, just didn't see that coming. Thought that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
For Griffin.
Like, what people don't understand, it's easy to sit there and watch stand up and laugh, you know what I mean? But the nerve and balls it would take to get up there and try to do what they did, or what any stand-up comedian does, I think is an art that is very overlooked in talent and skill wise.
It's so much more difficult than you think, for sure, man. And they just made it look easy. They look polished to me. I mean, they were extremely good.
Jeez, as somebody that has done the stand-up, you've done open mics, you've done stuff like that. What's it like walking up on that stage? Like, you hear your name on an intro, you have an audience. What's going through your head?
Let me just break it down there. Like the nerves and like the feeling that they had to have had coming into Shelbyville, a place they've probably never been, a crowd they have no idea what it's like. That was probably, I wouldn't say they were stressed because they're both very seasoned and they're good at what they do and they've been, doing shows for a long time. But at the same time, like, I feel like they had to be a little nervous because, like, they've never been in Shelbyville. They've never done a show in Shelbyville. Like, and I want to kind of like say that in my own personal experience, because I did open mics for about a year, and then I did 3 actual shows where like I was a feature act. Like I did my 5 to 7 minutes and like was part of a bigger program where there was a headliner and there was an opener, there was a host, that kind of thing. And I will tell you that I was always more nervous every time going up to do an open mic and work out the material and like practice and try to like remember everything and how I broke down the beats. I was more nervous in the open mics than the shows, because the shows, I'm like, the biggest one I ever did was Raintree. We did a live show at Raintree in Newcastle, and there was close to 100 people, if not over 100 people at this show, and I was hosting. So basically, as a host, you go up and you do your 3 to 5 minutes, and then you bring up the next comedian, and then your job is to go in between every comedian and bring up the next comic, and you got to kind of be funny and keep the energy going between the comics. So host is actually one of the hardest positions in the lineup, because you are responsible with like keeping the party going, remembering everybody's name, remembering how much time they're doing, so that you can kind of give them a light and let them know like, hey, you only got like a minute left. And but I was not nervous at all for that show. I was actually super pumped, especially after I got through my first 5 minutes, because I got laughs, and when you get laughs in a room of 100 people, it's way like it's just electrifying. So like I was just on cloud 9 that whole night, like. and then just the rest of the guys killed it. There was a couple of times that there were some lulls because I think some people did a little more time than they were probably comfortable with, and it kind of just hit it like a dead spot. But then I jumped up there and like made a joke about it, and like then it kept the energy going into the headliner. It was just fun, dude. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, if I highly suggest all the guys on this show to try it, because it is almost like a drug feeling, like because of how exciting and how scared you get, but also how good it feels when you get that first like clap, or like people really get what you're saying, or like really laugh at the joke that you made. Like it's intoxicating. Like it just makes you feel like you're the fucking man.
Now, did you on any of the open mics? How many crickets did you get? Did you get any crickets at all?
I tried to, like, the thing is I went to like a little class beforehand, so like I had a really solid like 5 minutes that like I always treated open mics like it was a show. Like, so I didn't ever like try new stuff that often. So basically I would do like my normal like 3 to 5 minutes. So at 3 minutes, then I would start trying something new. And then I always had my closer one that I knew like would get a little bit of a laugh. So like I knew I was always going to end on a make. It's kind of like basketball practice when you guys are talking about like you don't ever want to end a shoot around practice on a miss. You always want to end on a make. So I was treated in my sets like that. So I would try my newer stuff in the middle and then finish with a good one. And I did this newer one in the middle, and it was like about headphones, and basically my Bluetooth on my headphone would say like, Bluetooth powered on, battery good, and then it would like say battery okay, and then it said like battery terrible. So like I had this whole thing in my mind that I thought, well, I was like at the gym and I was like, oh, this is gonna kill. Like I was like, the thing came on and it was like, I don't want to fucking work out, and like I agreed with my headphones, and this, like I'm saying with you guys right now with the silence, that's the silence I got when I was trying to tell the joke. So it was rough, but then you just kind of like, you just are like, well, that wasn't funny, and you go on to your next thing and you start your next bit.
That's one thing I noticed that they were really good at. Like if they said, you could tell like some of the stuff that they said they thought it would get a bigger pop, and they were really good at like, I don't know, like continuing on to the next thing, but at the same time making you feel dumb for not laughing at the joke.
Yeah, for sure.
Or just like, acknowledging that you guys didn't get it, and that it might still be funny, but you guys just
over your
didn't
head.
Get it. Yeah. And then it gives you a little bit of a laugh to make you feel comfortable that you didn't laugh, because he's acknowledging the awkward silence.
Yeah, that's one of the things I noticed too. I think that'd probably be one of the hardest things about stand-up, is getting that first dead air, and then how you take it, and like how do you keep going and what you do.
No doubt, man. And I think that something people don't realize is getting up and talking for 15 minutes, because they did 15 minutes, is a long ass time, and you got to come up with a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, 5 minutes is a long time, but 15 minutes just to stay up there and say funny things for 15 minutes straight is incredibly difficult.
I mean, that's like a drive to Greenfield, just telling jokes the whole time.
Try to be funny the whole time.
The thing too is I noticed them crunching like notebooks in the corner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they walked in, got a drink, bam, they looking at notes and going over their routine and their acting. How many times do you think they've done that in the mirror? They probably did it the night before in the mirror, don't you think?
Oh, so much, dude. But the thing is with Griffin, like, because Griffin lives in, I think, Muncie, but he like drives down to Indy. He drives literally everywhere. That kid is at an open mic tonight. He's doing a set tonight in a show tonight. So like he's always doing sets. So I always am curious about his process, because I know that he does it so much, so I don't know how much he practices outside of those going up all the time. I know Devon has to really like write a lot, because I know he doesn't go up as much because he's got a lot of busy stuff going on in his life right now. He's getting married, he's having a kid, so like I know his is all writing and practicing in the mirror. I guarantee you that's what's going on.
But man, that was awesome. Thanks to you for making that happen before the show too, Juice. That was
man. Thanks, Juice.
That was a perfect like appetizer for the 100th episode.
For sure, man.
So, you know what I mean? I loved it.
That's the way I feel like about the live shows, is I feel like we have to start bringing something extra, because like our show is funny and we definitely bring an audience, but at the same time I want to provide something to that audience that maybe they haven't seen before, or something that's not just us, kind of like as a treat to them. So just expect in the future, if you're coming to a live show, we're going to have something special for you guys that's different, that you haven't seen before. It's not going to be just us talking. Like, you're going to have some interactive stuff that kind of happens.
Speaking of the live show, man, I mean, none of you guys really got too hammered, did you?
No, I took
did.
it. I didn't drink a drop. I mean, other than the one shot we did on air, man, just kind of kept it light, kept it simple.
I did too. I know Matt did. Matt definitely. I mean, we still haven't seen him. So once again, if you see Matt, please let us know. Tag him. Let him know we're worried about him. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna come with some kind of reward for whoever finds Matt. But speaking of going hard though, like the night before, I knew I would have to be up for work. So this is going to be me getting old talk. So I knew I'd have to be up for work. And I knew that I would not be able to control myself if I did not go in after drinking the night before, because that's what would make me not want to drink during the show.
Yeah.
That's getting old.
That is getting old.
Planning ahead.
I remember I drove home from the show just thinking, you're an old man. Like, what are we doing here?
It felt good though, didn't it? Driving home, the drive home was a little bit easier than normal.
Drive home felt good.
A little better.
It's kind of something I want to kind of get away. Like, maybe not as much, because I mean I've heard Juice say it too before. Like, whenever you would go live, you felt like you had to have 2 or 3 beers in you before a show, you know, just to feel comfortable, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we've always said this too. I think some of the best content and shows that we do are the ones that we don't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sure. So I don't know.
I mean, me and you also drank enough the night before to kind of hold us over for the next day if we really needed to.
Dude, we literally were on Josh's front porch with my little iPad up, betting every UFC fight. And I think we had fireball shots. We had beers. His wife brought more beers.
Yeah, I brought more beers.
Got ice cream. So yeah, I was definitely feeling bad.
Oh
dude.
Yeah.
What a sweet lady though to bring you some more beer, and she went and got ice cream. Come on.
Yeah. Dude, she got herself ice cream. She didn't bring us ice cream, but, she brought us beer, that's for sure.
I definitely wouldn't have done the ice cream. But dude, I know people out there are probably hearing beeps and like fire trucks and stuff like that. Just know that this windstorm is serious that we're having outside right now, by the way. We had a whole tree blow down literally next to our house across Main Street here in Carthage.
A huge tree.
From the roots over.
Just, unrooted, fell over, hit somebody's house. It landed on their house.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, there's white gentlemen out there cutting it down with chainsaws.
2 or 3 of them.
and a fire truck with spotlights on it, dude.
Yeah.
Only in a small town. I mean, a tree falls like that in your neighborhood, Juice. I mean, you think a lot of people are coming out there with chainsaws and cutting that thing down? No, they're on the phone bitching to the town to come get this tree out of our cul-de-sac or whatever.
Well, half the town's going to be heated with that tree next winter. So they got to get up there and get that free wood.
You guys using that for that firewood?
They are literally dumping it into some dude's just front yard as they cut it down too. Like his whole front yard is huge ass fucking, like a whole tree in his yard cut up.
I hope whenever they come pick that up, maybe they can come pick mine up in my backyard. It's been sitting back here all winter.
We have trees fall down like every storm around here, man. Once I got a shed, fucking nuts, man. But
hey,
thing was what's up?
Quick shout out to Jake Johnson for watching online and in the chat. He came out to the show at Capone's, the Speakeasy, and shout out to him for showing the support he does to the Highly Inappropriate podcast. He even jumped on the mic for a little bit.
Yeah, we appreciate you, buddy. That was the only shot I had of the day, and it was a delicious shot.
It was,
and I appreciate everything that you did and coming on. Shout out to your podcast.
Yeah, he says he always drinks for his podcast.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young kid. He's a kid. So
exactly.
He's probably drinking now, watching our podcast.
he was putting them down when me and Dunk were on there. So
nice. But go ahead, Dunk.
No, I was just gonna say that the whole getting old thing, it just got me thinking. I was wanting to ask you guys too. Getting old, like when I think about it, it's the worst, best thing of all time. Like there's nothing that can mess with father time. I know, like getting old, there's definitely bad things and there's definitely good things. And I think mostly good outweighs the bad, but there's some things, where the bad outweighs the good. And I just wanted your guys' thoughts. Like as you're getting older, what's like the number one thing that you realize, like you see yourself doing that you never thought you would do?
I'll let Juice go.
For sure, wearing dad sandals, the whole dad fit, dude. I'm all in on it. Like, I fucking rock it. I'm so excited when I get to wear my fucking strappy, like, brown sandals, dude. I'm like, I just am excited to let the toes breathe out in the yard while I'm working in the yard. I mean, it's, I would say, like, I never thought that I would be that stereotypical dad where I would, like, enjoy grilling and mowing. Like, I thought I was going to be like a city boy and that kind of thing, where I like wanted to just like live in a high rise in, like, you know, downtown Indy or in a bigger city somewhere else. And, you know, I've really just fallen into that suburb life, dude, where get off work, go home, start up the grill, throw some burgers on, and like eat outside on our back porch. And just, I just live for that. Have some, you know, scotch or beer out there on the back porch and just maybe smoke a square or two, you know, like you can't get rid of all the bad habits, but,
Now, do you still feel like in your head, like for me, like the getting old thing, like I still feel like maybe not physically, but mentally that I'm still 16 years old.
For sure.
Like in my head, I do not feel like I do not feel my age.
It's so awesome that you brought that up, because literally last weekend, Jen and I were out on a date while the daughter was being watched by grandma. And I literally was like talking to her and I was like, I don't feel like an adult. Like, I'm looking around in this restaurant and these
like, am I doing this right?
Yeah. Yeah, like these people look like adults. Like I told her, I looked over at this dude and I was like, that guy's a dad. Like, he's got like the scruffy beard and like the fucking Under Armour like fucking pullover, and like I was like, that guy looks like a dad. And I was like, I don't look like that guy. And she was like, well, you're just not that hot, Justin.
But like the thing is too, like even like I'll meet people and like I always assume I'm younger too. Like I'll meet somebody and then they'll be like, oh, I'm 30, 32 or 33. And I'll be like, holy shit. Like, I'm 4 years older than you. Like I still feel like a kid. Like, I don't know, man.
That's probably not everybody. You're probably just a little bit special, or I guess all of us are. All of us that are doing this are. I think that there's like a feeling of freedom. I think it goes kind of hand in hand. With
I love the freedom.
With what Juice is saying, like just freedom of everything. Like, I can wear sweatpants to Walmart and Crocs, and I just don't
give a fuck.
I'm comfortable. I don't give a shit. I've done too much, been there, done that. I just, I think that not having to pretend to be something else just to fit in and be cool with everybody is.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that.
I respect that, Josh. I respect that a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's like Slim Thug says, the key is to not let this material shit impress you.
Yep.
That's a real bar right there.
For sure. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with like when you always seen when people got older, they just had more money. They had nicer stuff. And I know you accumulate stuff over time, but I also think that you don't realize when you're young how much money you spend on just dumb shit that didn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And now you can save a little bit more. And I mean, there are trade-offs. So, I mean, the body is hurting. Me and Dunk come in the garage earlier and the door was open just a little bit. And we both tried to bend over to get in, and it was not a pretty sight. We got in.
I would have barrel rolled that thing 20 years ago. It was like both of us grunting to get in here,
having to grab onto the fucking the side of the wall and shit.
But like another thing that blows my mind too is like if you think back to like when you were a kid, like you were so naive and like just felt so like secure. You know what I mean? Like you weren't afraid of anything, and you just always thought your mom and dad like had it on, like had it all going, you know what I mean? Like had a plan, always knew what was going on. But I guarantee that they probably felt the same fucking way we feel right now. I mean, isn't that weird to think about?
That is true. And another thing I was just thinking about now that you brought up parents, I feel like that at our age we seem younger than our parents did at this age. Like
for sure,
so old at like 35, 36, 37. Like I remember when my parents were that old, and I feel like I'm a lot like more in touch with what's trendy, and I'm young. I mean, we're video gaming still. I mean, I do feel like we were younger.
We're different, definitely a different generation.
When you guys were both kids, though, how old were your parents?
I mean, my mom had me her senior year.
Same here. Yeah.
She was pregnant
Same.
with me when she graduated, and then I was born.
Here,
That summer. Yeah.
Yeah, I was born that summer after
Wow.
my mom got
We're
out of high
all the
school.
same.
So we're all the fucking same.
That's crazy.
Uh,
Maybe that's one of the key things to having a podcast. Like you're a teenage birth.
That's probably why we're all fucked up. Our moms were all getting high and drinking and smoking cigs in the 80s.
you guys didn't know your dad either, because that was me. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Josh did. I didn't.
I did-
So,
yeah,
I mean, you
definitely.
have that in common. I knew him, but he wasn't there. Like I divorced, house and stuff.
No, I just think it's funny because like my mom, when I was growing up, like she never seemed old to me. Like other adults seemed old, but my mom never did because dude, my mom was taking me to daycare and she had a little Suzuki Sidekick with fucking 15s in the back of it, like blaring fucking Prince Purple Rain or some shit, like and just dropping me off. And like I just remember her talking about it being like, I probably got judged so hard as a single mom because I was driving you around just like blaring my 15-inch subwoofers in my Suzuki Sidekick. I mean, I guarantee you those subs probably rattled that car to death.
And you thought, you didn't think, you just thought that's how it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what I do. Like my mom would have never, like I'll pick Lexi up from practice or something, sophomore in high school, and have like rap music playing in the car. You know what I mean?
And I also want to tell another quick story. I know we're thinking about moving on, but dude, when I was a little kid, I had a really just different, like my mom, it was literally just me and my mom. Like we were, living in apartments here to there. Like she was working waitress jobs, going to school to be a nurse, and like just doing dating different guys. So like I would meet different guys. Like it was, she was a young mom, dude. And I remember the guy that taught me how to tie my fucking shoes was a long-haired marijuana smoking hippie that lived across the hall from our apartment. Like he babysat me on a day that like mom was going to work, and he taught me how to tie my shoes. And I learned how to ride a bike from his daughter. She went on vacation somewhere and she left her pink like bike with the little fucking streamers on the side. And she said, You can ride this whenever you want. And I was like, I don't know how to ride the bike. And that guy was like, you'll figure it out. And then he's just like, go downstairs and try. And like, so I just went downstairs and fucking taught myself how to ride a fucking bicycle and started riding it around the neighborhood and around the apartment complex, got my shoestring caught in the fucking wheels and went flying into some guy's car, thought I was going to get killed by a big black guy. Like it was like, I lived a weird, like upbringing up until I was like in probably like elementary, middle school.
I'm guessing that's when your mom married your stepdad.
Yeah. And then it was weird just because I hated that guy and I never wanted to be there.
Man, we're a lot alike, Juice.
I mean no disrespect, but I think Juice had the hot mom.
Did you?
It sounds like Juice had a hot mom.
I mean, it was not a secret that people gave me shit for my mom being hot. It happened quite often.
I mean, you'll have that.
Shout out, Robin. Shout out.
But no, like I think a big thing too that when I think about being a kid and stuff, like the internet, I think changed everything. I mean, it did. It obviously did. Now, how old you guys? I mean, when you were little kids, you had no internet, obviously, right? Like, what grade were you in when you guys got internet? Junior high for you, probably, right?
Yeah, I remember having a computer at the house with the internet. It was probably 7th, 8th grade, probably.
Now, Juice, were you elementary kid without internet?
Yeah. I think we had a computer with. I know for a fact that my uncle had internet because my uncle was always on the forefront of technology. Because he was the guy that had the fucking briefcase cell phone, like it was literally like a big like box that he carried around with him.
Oh,
like,
yeah, mom had one of those.
He had that.
What's that?
And he had that, and then I remember I was probably 4th or 5th grade, I think, getting on his internet, and then I think we got it at our house, like shit. It was before middle school because middle school I switched to Eastern Hancock, and I know we had it in New Pal when we lived in New Pal, so that was like 4th or 5th grade.
All right, so like you probably don't remember it as much as me. Like I was probably like in high school, like freshman, sophomore year when it was, really big. Like cell phones weren't really big yet. Like I think that kids these days need that. Like I don't understand. Like I think that's how it like made people who they were back then. Like I remember, like you had to get up, you would call somebody from your house phone to their house and ride bicycles to like find your friends and not know where they're at. Like now you just always know like what's going on. Like you'll go see somebody you haven't seen in 10 years and be able to be like, you went to here and you did this and did that. Like, you know what I mean? Like you already know everything they did. Like there's no, like my wife gets so mad. Like we'll go to Thanksgiving, like at her family's house, and like she's not real big, like social media. She has a Facebook, stuff like that, but she's not like a big, social media
on it all the time.
Sure.
But she hardly ever gets to talk to her grandma. And like, we'll go to Thanksgiving and like her aunts and stuff have already told her grandma all the stuff that she would like want to talk to her grandma about. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden,
what are you talking about?
You just know, like you can't meet a friend from back in the day and not already know what's going on. Like there's no such thing as catching up with somebody, or I think, and then everybody's always buried in phones. Like if we could go back to simpler times, if I could say we could take internet away, would you do it?
Ooh. There's a lot of convenient fucking things.
Very, very convenient thing. We wouldn't be doing this right now.
I think if you adjusted the question, if you could go back to those times,
all right, how about
I would do that in a
you would take it
heartbeat.
away. You would take it away, but you never knew it existed too.
I think I could do that.
Yeah.
I think I could do that.
Yeah, I think you could go that route if you never knew about it, never knew it existed.
Think of that world, though. You know what I mean? Think of that world.
It'd be wildly different, like
more than wild. It'd be unreal.
We wouldn't have any of the entertainment that we have.
Nope.
Think of it. That's a movie idea, like called like No Internet, like a movie like
everybody just wakes up and
you know what I mean? Like it just like today's world,
it's
there's
gone.
No such thing as internet, and like just how people would go about their day, and like
we'd probably still have
happen.
really sweet cars. Like, cause like internet and like all that stuff and like the faster processing and like how to change cars and make them like a little bit more boring and things, like cars would not be the same whatsoever. They would have like, you'd have to change. I don't know. Like it would be unreal. So ingrained into our society. Like it would have to be like society be wildly different if they like did a movie and they took it all away.
Like, how did we like? This is like I don't even remember this anymore.
It's twisted my brain into a pretzel.
It's insane. Like, think of like, how did we know a concert was coming? Like, so radio would still be huge.
Yeah.
Right. Radio would be massive.
Radio would be humongous still.
Yeah.
Because that's how you'd hear a commercial on the radio that a concert was coming, or you wouldn't even know it was coming.
You join fan clubs of like a band. It was always like on the back of a record. You'd be like, hey, right in here and join the Hank Williams Jr. fan club at this. And then they'd send you updates, or you'd buy magazines.
In the mail.
The mail would be fucking huge.
Hell yeah, dude. It might be lit.
Postal service, dude. That'd probably be like the number one job.
Hell yeah.
And think of like all your small towns, like businesses, stuff like that would still be all huge and open. You would have no online shopping. You'd have to go and get stuff. You know what I mean? Like the new
you could get stuff just dropped off. I guess you could still have delivery food because they did that with landline phones.
Sure.
You definitely have. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. But I mean, you wouldn't be able to get on Amazon and get a new PlayStation and it shows up to your house. Like you'd have to
walk up to Pavy's and get in the Sears catalog and order it.
You definitely wouldn't even have a PlayStation probably. I guess you would have.
We had video games.
I guess individual games would be way better probably. And like the Madden would probably be good. Madden would probably not suck because it would have to be developed so that you could play it on that console.
Yeah, and the only way you played somebody else was if they were at your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no online.
Oh my gosh, dude, you're taking me back to all my fucking fun memories before the internet.
Speaking of old memories on Netflix this week, I know you always talk about something you watched. I watched a show called The Last Blockbuster, and it's like there's only one left. There at the beginning of the documentary, there was like 4.
It's in Alaska, right?
3 of them were in Alaska, and there was one.
Wow.
There was one in Oregon. And the 3 in Alaska closed, and then now the only one open is like the one in like Oregon.
But it's still there.
Yeah, still there. It's a Blockbuster.
It's like
that's crazy.
Like the old Blockbusters we used to go into. It's all like
the blue and the yellow. Like really? I mean, they had the inside of it. Yeah, it's like the Blockbuster.
That's fucking cool.
And I thought it was pretty odd that I was watching The Last Blockbuster on Netflix, which Netflix is what killed Blockbuster.
Well, and Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy
Netflix. Yes, they definitely talked about that too.
Do you think something like that's going to come back around? Because trends and things like that seem to come around like probably 20 years ago, nobody would have thought vinyl music would be back around. People would be buying vinyl records and stuff.
Yeah.
And now last year it was the number one selling media for music.
So like when we're old DVD players and DVDs will be
so like
trending.
all these kids will think it's really cool to have DVDs and Blu-rays and shit, and they'll just be going to Blockbuster.
I could be wrong, but I have a theory that it's not going to go that way because technology from something I read is on a exponential growth path. So like it's going to get to the point because it's right now. So for example, something that was invented today, 10 years ago would have taken way longer for that to be invented. So, 10 years from now, the thing that took 10 years to invent to get to today is only going to take a year in 10 years, if that makes sense. I know that's kind of fucking confusing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to explain it in a way that makes sense, but basically it's going to start getting faster and faster. So, another easier example, your iPhone. So like a new iPhone comes out like every year or every quarter, every half year or whatever when they release their new version. So basically that time frame has shortened a ton. Like it's not like it's not difficult to get that advancement. So basically they're saying that it's on this upward turn. So I don't think people are going to go back to like DVDs and stuff because in fucking 5-10 years we're going to be living in a virtual fucking world where we spend more than half our time in that. So I don't like, maybe in that virtual world they're like, hey, we're going to have you watch DVDs in the virtual world.
I hate it, dude. That sounds terrible.
It does sound
Ready
terrible.
Player One, dude, is on its way.
I'm gonna hold out hope that somebody sets a trend where it doesn't even have to, it could be just some kind of physical media to go back to it, because I could jump on Spotify and listen to anything I want, but there's just something cool about holding the record and putting the music on and owning it.
There's nothing better than opening up a new movie or a new rental. Like, yeah. I mean, you guys remember renting movies, right?
Yeah.
Before the streaming stuff.
I used to get so pissed when the new movie wasn't in stock.
Yeah.
But you'd have 2 walls of that fucking movie, and you'd look behind every little fucking paper. Is there a fucking DVD stuck behind that one? Like, I would do that. Like, I would search because I wanted to see whatever new movie just came to Blockbuster.
I mean, the kid that always would take it and hide it behind a shitty movie.
Oh, yeah.
He knew it would be there. Yeah.
I did that a few times.
I think that it's
with video games, too.
There's a lot of parallels with the whole music, the vinyl music, because you have to go out and you have to find it, you have to look for it, then you're holding it, and you've got a lot invested in it. So then I tend to sit down and want to listen more because I'm invested in it. It's like if I get up and I go to the video store, search for the video, movie, whatever, watch it, I'm probably going to sit down and watch the whole thing, probably pay a little bit more attention because it's just easier than just clicking on Netflix and 10 minutes in it's boring and I can just go to another one.
Yeah,
that's a fucking fantastic point too.
Yeah, they said that there's a lot of movies like that are just buried in the wasteland, like that we'll never be able to see again because they only exist on these, DVDs.
You had the cover art that was going to grab you, like the cover might look really badass, and you might just give it a try because it looked cool. And there's so much we lost so much.
Yeah, I mean, talking about CDs, where you're going. Like, there was nothing better than going to my Best Buy and buying a new CD.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I had the big book of CDs.
Hell yeah.
Taking the plastic off, reading the book and seeing the lyrics inside the book.
The kids today will never get the badass, like, No Limit records, the No Limit CDs and the cases, the fucking plastic cases and the raised, like, textured covers. And
the day
was awesome.
The day of albums is dead. Like, the whole album thing is dead. It's just singles now. Like, they'll stream a new single. Like, even if you watch like the awards shows now, it's not even based off like album of the year. It's single of the year. It's most downloads of the year.
There's only a few. There's just a few artists that are doing it, but there's not many. I mean, you're not going to be commercially successful with putting together a project of 18 songs,
that are all fucking good. Like, because that's the thing. Yeah. Like, there used to be, like, there were so many albums that were good from start to finish. And they're like, and even like today's artists that are supposedly like the greatest, like that we have right now, I don't think can put out a full album that I can listen to from start to finish and be like, every song was fucking fire.
It's only the old guys that do it. Like none of the new guys do it. Like an Eminem will put a new album, like that's a whole album, or a Jay-Z, or like an older like rock band or whatever. Like the new guys like Drake. I'm dropping a new album Friday.
Kendrick is like
two or three songs.
Kendrick might be the only guy, like newer guy, that's really doing it like that.
Somebody
they get into the EPs too. That's become a thing where they put out 4 or 5 tracks. The EP.
That's the huge thing right now.
Yep.
Somebody that I really do like though that's been on the Juice in the Morning podcast is Zachary Leon, because of the fact that he did his albums as like kind of like a series, and it's the Ion 6 with Team Alpha or something like that. But it was just dope because he like they told a story in the interludes between songs, so like you wanted to listen to the whole album, and every song on that album was good. Like that's somebody that's independent that's doing it, that I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably recording that like the old school way too, isn't he?
I would assume. I don't know. The producers that they have are really fucking good, so I'm not really sure.
I don't know. Do you guys have any Blockbuster memories? You got any good rental movie stories? Because do you guys remember being little and trying to go in the porn section?
I remember trying to go down when they had Ernie's down here in Knightstown.
Ernie's had a porn section.
Had the curtain back there.
The porn section is always like a saloon door too to go in.
Or beads. Or beads.
It's never like a full door. It's like make as much noise as it can make, so everybody sees you coming in and out of the porn section. That's one thing they talked about. Blockbuster didn't have the porn section. I kind of always thought the one in Greenfield did.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But that was one of the big things they said that they didn't have.
Get into.
We probably went to the same one in fucking Greenfield because I grew up in Greenfield.
Oh, I've been to the Greenfield Blockbuster, but as a kid, no Blockbuster was around for us. It was like
didn't have to leave Knightstown.
I mean, back then you wanted to make good money and you had money to invest. You would just open up a tanning salon / video rental store and make tons of money.
Top 10 video in Knightstown, man.
That's all it was. Go in there and tan and get a movie.
Man, hell yeah.
So a reason that what is it? What was the video? The one that's like not Blockbuster, but it like was still around a long time after Blockbuster was around. It was
Family
Video. Yes.
Yep.
So Family Video, I just used to fuck over all the time in Muncie because I would just go and start an account and like rent a movie, keep the movie or forget to return it, go back in, start another account and do the same thing with just like a different phone number. Like I would just make up a phone number. And they just kept doing it. Like they just like, I don't know how they didn't recognize I was the same person.
So you're single-handedly the reason that we don't have Family Video.
You killed Family Video, man.
You killed Family Video.
But no, that was funny. And then the thing that I fucking used to hate was how much I would get fucking screamed at by my stepdad and mom when I did not return the movie on time or remind them to return the movie on time because I couldn't fucking drive, parents. So, like, you guys took me to rent this movie or video game.
Like, they would come in your room and see it and be like, oh, you still have this movie?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
Fucking cocksuckers.
Older than you guys. I remember before DVDs, we rented cassette tapes.
Oh, yeah, you got to rewind
tapes, and you got to rewind them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Remember the rich kids always had the little thing you stick the tape in and close it, and it rewinds it real fast?
Yeah, I do remember that now.
I used to think that was like, I was like, I when I saw one of those.
A sign of making it.
When I saw,
they got money.
I was the opposite because the first time I saw one of those, I was like, you're so poor that you have to have one of those. My fucking VCR does it automatically when I'm done watching the movie.
Oh, Grandpa didn't want to wear out his VCR. You don't wear out the VCR, fast forward and rewind it.
I love it.
Or wear out the tape.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Tape, yeah.
As a kid, my mom always made fun of me because I watched Bambi so many times that I wore the tape out and it wouldn't work anymore.
We had
Bambi was your movie, huh?
Apparently, like I don't even remember watching that, but apparently it was a big movie for me as a little kid.
Uh-oh.
What?
We're good.
Okay, we're
just
good.
Froze a little bit. What are you gonna say?
No,
Josh?
I was gonna say that we were so poor that it was a gamble when you had to rewind the VCR if it was going to chew the tape up or not. So, ours was so shitty they just chew the tapes up all the time, man. You'd ruin that shit.
That is a fucking gamble because then you got to pay fucking probably double at Blockbuster or Family Video.
Yeah.
Have you went back and put a VHS tape in and watched like how terrible like the picture is?
Every fucking Christmas because Jen's family is obsessed with those fucking claymation Christmas movies and they all fucking stink.
And they have
every single one.
VHS.
Oh yeah,
VHS.
and her dad still has the VHS player, like it's under his TV. He saves it just so that when we come on fucking Christmas, Thanksgiving, all those days, that they can fucking watch those shitty movies.
We still have a VHS/DVD player under our TV in the living room.
Damn. Yeah. I don't even if sometimes we watch DVDs or Blu-rays or something, but I won't even watch a DVD because it's so shitty. Like the quality's so shitty.
Oh yeah.
I just won't watch it. I'm like, don't even turn that on when I'm around.
So what? You just Blu-ray all the time?
It's got to be Blu-ray's the absolute bottom. That's the that's the bottom. I won't go below.
So
highfalutin
what
over
is
there.
it?
Yeah,
what is a DVD? A DVD's not 1080p.
720,
No.
720p is the max a DVD will do.
Yeah, it's just.
I think some would do 1080.
To me, it looks shitty. I don't even know if it'll do that. To me, it just looks shitty.
So the only 1080 is like streaming and stuff like that.
Blu-ray
will get up to 4K, I think, even, won't it?
Yeah, they got 4K now. They got 4K discs. So,
but
yeah, it's got to be Blu-ray. I got to go HD. If you're not in HD, man, I'm not watching that shit.
Oh, Josh, I gotta add to that really quick before we move on. Jen and I had the biggest argument when we were both kind of poor still, living up in Muncie, and we were getting cable together because I had moved in with her into her little like half house, like what is it? What are they called? Duplex. I moved into the duplex with her, and I was like, all right, so I want to get cable because you don't have fucking shit, and I want to watch like games and stuff like that. So I want to get like DirecTV or Xfinity or Verizon or whatever it was at the time. And she like one of the packages was the HD package. And she was like, you don't need that. And I was like, yeah, I do, because I have this 65-inch fucking TV. I want to watch HD on this. And she was like, you don't need it. You don't need it. And I was like, do you know the difference between HD and what you're fucking watching right now on all your DVDs? Like, do you know? And she was like, yeah, it looks just the same. And I was like, okay. So I literally took a HD like Blu-ray, because I had a Blu-ray player too. I took the Blu-ray, put it in, and I showed her, and I was like, look at that. Now, look at this. And I fucking opened it, took the disc out, put a DVD in, and she was like, oh, that does look a lot different.
I remember that. Dude, when I was little, like I remember watching basketball games on like tube TVs.
Oh yeah.
Somehow we watched that.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember too, man. And they weren't very big either. I had like a TV that got hit by lightning and only plugged in like the audio video plugged in so I could game on it. But it was like a 32-inch TV, and none of my friends had a TV anywhere near that big. Like I had everybody come to my house because I had the big ass TV and it was 32 inches. It was like a big screen, man.
A 32-inch, you'd laugh somebody out of the fucking neighborhood if they had a 32-inch screen above their fireplace.
Dude, the TV I had, like because when I was little, we had like an upstairs, and like we had my sister's room, my room, and we had our own little like loft little thing where our gaming was. And I had one of the big, like wood all the way around the TV. It like weighs like 1,000 fucking pounds. That's what I watched TV and gamed on.
Oh yeah, man.
Like old as fuck.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how we even watched. How could we even tell what was going on?
Oh, we did it, man, because we didn't know.
Yeah,
we had no idea.
Didn't know better.
It's crazy, man.
It is wild.
So, also the music thing. I have one more thing I wanted to bring up and just ask you guys if you guys do the same thing. Am I the only one who has a concert in the shower still?
No, you're not.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I'm not, because I know I'm the only one in this house, because I'll Bluetooth speaker the shit out of my shower.
Same with me. I'm the only one at my house, but I've got one. I keep it in the bathroom up on a shelf. So you just have to charge it every now and then, and I just crank that mother. I just crank it, dude.
Turn it as loud as it fucking can go. The problem is though, like the thing that I hate, and like you guys may give me shit for trying to be like, you know, fancy or whatever, but we have a fancy like fucking shower now, like that we didn't have. And when I have the speaker in the shower, it's so echoey because it's tile like from floor to ceiling. So it's so echoey and so loud that like it kind of like ruins the concert ishness, I guess is the word. I'm trying to make up a word, but it kind of ruins it because it's like too distorted. So like then if I keep it outside on the like counter, that's like kind of far away from the shower, so it's not as loud and as exciting as it used to be when I could just have the fucking thing in the shower with me and rocking out. So I'm kind of I'm in a weird spot. I might need to upgrade the speaker to like a nicer speaker that can kind of like go with the acoustics a little bit better. But dude, give me fucking OAR live at Madison Square Garden, and I'll fucking sing. I'll stay in the shower for an hour and a half. I don't care.
Juice, I have a suggestion. Maybe try to get some of those little like hooks that you can kind of stick to the wall in your shower, and then maybe hang some towels up around there and kind of dampen that echo.
That would actually probably work. No,
one of the things I want to do if I ever get a lot of money and get rich is like put speakers throughout. Like I want a Bluetooth speaker in my whole house.
Oh yeah. So
and I want to control it by rooms and all that good stuff, and just be able to like sync my phone. Like if I'm in the kitchen, hit play my like then speakers in the ceiling.
That's like my boss's house is like that. He's got he's got like a receiver in his pantry in his kitchen, but it goes every room's got a speaker in the ceiling. And then you go outside, and they're outside in the little sunroom in the garage.
That would be awesome.
It's pretty fucking cool.
That would be awesome.
So my house is set up like that, but I don't have the money to get somebody in, and I haven't bought the receivers to set it up to where it actually works.
So
I have the speakers. The speakers are everywhere, but not everywhere. The two speaker there's a whole setup in the living room upstairs. There's a whole setup in the basement downstairs. There's a setup above my bar in the basement, and then there's a setup out in my gazebo in the backyard. But I don't have the money to like pay somebody to hook it up because the way the dumbass that lived here before me, he built all those wires into the wall, so I can't even hook up the receivers that I have. I literally have to have a professional come out. They're gonna have to dig into walls. They're gonna have to do stuff and like repair it after they like hook everything up. I'm super pissed about it. But trust me, this is something I've been fighting with my wife about since we moved in here. This should work, Jen, but it doesn't, and it pisses me off because I want it everywhere.
Now, is it possible to Bluetooth it, or do you have to have that receiver?
You have to have the receiver that would Bluetooth to power all of the speakers.
All right, so the receiver would be the Bluetooth, and then your phone would just Bluetooth it, and you'd play whatever you wanted through the whole house.
Yep.
And you can control each room speaker.
It depends on the receiver because that's what I actually had a professional guy come out, and he told me it'd be about $4,000 basically. That's why it's not happened yet. I'm needing to hit big on fucking March Madness, dude, so that I can get this fucking done. I'm gonna do an 11-team parlay and win at least half of that. So let's do it.
There you go, man.
Like I would have stuff playing all the time. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Hey,
you guys got to come over and party at this house, dude. It's a fun house. It's just far away from you guys.
It is.
Definitely, we need to do that.
Yep.
Definitely needed to get that going on. But I was gonna throw it to you, Juice. Go ahead. Back in the day when I used to go on Juice's show, it was one of my favorite things, and I wanted to do it and kind of incorporate it onto tonight's episode. Since it's just us three kind of shooting the shit, we wanted to just get out here and give you something to listen to this week. But Juice used to do this thing called Pod Decks, where he would randomly pull these cards and they would ask questions and just kind of start the convo, and it was always really, really fun. So I'll throw it to you, Juice, and kind of let you do your thing.
Yeah, this is something that I haven't done in a while because Juice in the Morning has been on hiatus because I'm taking classes, I'm helping out with the Highly Inappropriate podcast, and I'm working full time. So it's hard to get on the mic just to kind of bullshit with the people that used to listen to Juice in the Morning. But I feel like a lot of them have drifted over to Highly Inappropriate, so that's what it's all about anyways. And, the Pod Decks thing, I pay for it every month, so we might as well use it, So we should definitely use it a little more often. So basically, with Pod Decks it's just questions that help you learn more about your guests or your hosts or anybody that's joining along in the chat. I think one of the things I would like to share with everybody is I'll share it to the camera so that you guys can see it. Hopefully, it'll zoom in so that you can actually see it. The first question that I'll start with you guys is, what gives you butterflies in your stomach?
Man.
Can I go first if I have one off the top of the head?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm thinking.
All right, so the thing that gives me butterflies in the stomach, but it also at the same time kind of gives me like the raising the hair on the back of the neck, is when you share a song or a video or something with somebody and you know that they're vibing with it. Like, they're really digging it. Like, they've never heard it before, that kind of thing. Or, like, they're on the same fucking level as you, as like, oh, yeah, man, that's my fucking favorite song, or that's my favorite video, or that's, like, my favorite comedy routine, that kind of thing. That literally gives, like, I'm not gonna lie, kind of gives me a half chub, man. Like when I know that somebody's on the same fucking page as me,
same vibe, same way,
same energy level. Like it's almost like we're syncing up like fucking Bluetooth, dude.
I feel you. I'd have to say mine is. This is gonna be, I mean, obvious once you hear what I say, but hitting a bet, dude. Like putting like a big kind of bet out there, and especially if it's a close game, like winning a bet on a buzzer beater or winning a bet on like just something insane is one of the best feelings that I think there is.
Yeah, man.
That adrenaline.
I think for me, it's just making something good, whether it's, making something out of wood, making some food, just creating something,
videos,
even creating video, just anything, any kind of creation of making anything, just kind of gives me that feeling. That and walking into any sporting event, I don't care what it is, just any sporting event.
I do like that too.
I get to just walk into a gym, a stadium, or whatever it is, man.
Now I would see what I was thrown about this question was I didn't know if they meant like nervous butterflies too.
Yeah.
Well, you can add nervous, because I would say like even fucking going up on stage to do a stand-up comedy, no matter when I went up, I had the butterflies. Like, I mean, it wasn't like I did say that the bigger the show, like it was less stress. Like I wasn't as worried, but I still had the fucking butterflies going up there. Like you still get that fucking feeling in your stomach that you feel like it's gonna they're gonna fly right out the fucking center of your belly button.
See, that's why I said the sports bet too, because you get all aspects of the butterflies during it. So you have the nervous during the game. You have the big one after the win or the loss or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a ride, boys. It's like a drug. I mean, I know there's addiction numbers.
We went for a ride Saturday night, didn't we? And that UFC fight. Ooh, that was a ride.
Like, I wish you we need to do that together too. I think that would be content also.
I would be down.
One of those free fight nights on UFC, all get together, get some drinks, literally watch every fight and bet every fight.
Yep.
Like we were getting hype as fuck.
I think what we could easily do is just set up a fucking camera facing us, not the fights, and we just fucking talk about it, like, and we just bullshit.
Me and Josh literally said the same thing. Like some of the stuff that we did out there would have been content, dude. Like, throwing in bets, like fight will not go the distance, and like having nice chunk on it, and like seeing the knockout, like the reaction, and
because it comes out of nowhere and it's so fast, and then even just going to a couple times we went against each other, and that was kind of cool just to go against each other so we could just talk shit to each other.
I told him to betting UFC is my favorite thing to gamble on.
For sure, mine too.
Not even close.
Yeah, mine too.
Because everything's literally 3 minutes, 3 rounds, 3 minutes, boom, on the next. It's just boom, boom, bet.
And like 10 seconds in that one fight, like just you go that fast and you're on to the next one. But you get enough time to like kind of do a little bit of research between the fights too. I mean, you got to be quick, but it's fast. But you're not.
You all right over there, Doug?
Oh man, got choked up, man. Butterflies.
All right, so I think we've kind of exhausted the butterflies. Next question: has anyone ever approached you thinking that you were someone else? I also have a really good story for this.
Dude, I do too, man. You guys are gonna golly. So when I was like 18, probably 17, 18, around there, I think I was still a senior in high school. But anyways, hat backwards at the brickyard practices and stuff like that with the sunglasses on. And you can ask my mom. We'd be walking around like the pit area, and we would watch, and people would run from a distance, like come towards us, and then get, like once they got kind of close, like turn around and go away. Thought I was Dell Jr., dude.
I could see that, dude. As soon as you started telling the story, I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's good."
Yeah, thought I was Junebug out there.
That's good. That's a good one.
That is good.
Yep. What about you guys? Juice? I mean,
Juice. Yeah, go ahead, Juice.
So I said I had a good one, and then I thought about it, and it doesn't exactly fit the question perfectly, but I'll just tell you the story really quick anyways. So I was out drinking at Ball State in Muncie while I was at school at Ball State, and I was at a bar, and I met this fine, pretty little thing, and I was, hitting on her, having a good time. We were hitting it off. She gave me her number. We were just like, I was like, fuck yeah, like, homecoming's coming up. I'm gonna hit her up. It's gonna be a good fucking weekend because I'm gonna probably end up at her house, that kind of thing. And the homecoming's happening, and I've been texting her from that Friday night through to Saturday. I'm texting her back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Texting, and then we get to homecoming, and I'm like, where are you at? Because the tailgate field's pretty small at Ball State. And so I'm like, where are you at? And she's like, I'm at this row, and this, fraternity flag's near me. So this is like where I'm at. And like, I'm trying to find you. I'm trying to find her. And finally, we run across each other. And I'm like, what's up, Aaron? Like, that may not be her name. Maybe it is. Who knows? I'm like, what's up, Aaron? And like, I'm like super pumped to see her. And she looks at me up and down and she's like, I don't know you. And she just fucking keeps walking. And I was fucking devastated. I was like, am I ugly? And then like, as she's walking away, like I call her, and I literally am like, I'm like probably 100 feet from her. And like, I'm calling her because I'm like, maybe it's just not the right person. Like, maybe I thought that's who I met drunk. Call her. She fucking answers the phone, and I see her like 100 feet away. And I'm like, Aaron, like, hey, I just said hey to you. And I just see her fucking take her phone and go, and fucking hang up on me and just keeps walking to the next fucking row. And I was like,
that's
it was so weird. Jeez. I will tell you that it was so weird that I even like saw her out at bars later, and still like, and we even ended up having conversations and like hanging out like in groups of friends and like talking, and like I would bring that up, and she would literally like go brick wall on me and like just not talk about that. But then she would like talk about whatever else we were talking about. It was so odd. It was so weird. Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe she saw me and was like immediately like, because we were kind of like getting a little like, handsy and stuff like the Friday. So maybe she was like just like really drunk and like didn't think who I was, maybe. Like, it was like one of those reverse things where like, the guy thinks the girl looks really good the night before when he's drunk, and then the night or the day that he sees her, he's like, she's kind of gross. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe that's what it was. I'm trying to figure it. I've never figured it out, dude. It was one of those things that takes you down a peg or two, dude. I'm just saying that's it's not exactly this question, but it is this question.
Damn.
It's just weird. It's just weird.
So mine's a little bit weird.
Besides Goose.
Besides Goose all the time. It wasn't in person, but on Twitter, there's a guy. He was a defensive lineman in the NFL, and he played for the Bengals and a couple other teams. And he started following me and talking to me, like DMing me and talking to me, and then another coach started following me, and they all thought, I swear to God, and it was probably because of Mathis and Pac-Man and a couple other guys that were following me, Cedric Benson, but there was like the couple defensive linemen, the D-line coach, Jay Hayes. They start just talking to me all the time, and they think that we played together. They thought I was on the team and we played together. Like this dude, he's a coach now for the Chargers, and he swears that we played together. I could message him right now, and he'll hit me right back.
Dude, you need to
get some fucking dirt on some people, dude.
Yeah, dude. He just
use this and get gas, and like when they come on the show, like the coach for the Chargers, they'll treat you like the chick treated Jews, and they'll go brick wall, and then their picture will disappear.
It's wild, dude. It's wild. I'm like, nah, I didn't ever kind of correct him. I'm just like, I just go with it.
That's awesome. That's so good. And you probably got a lot of good interaction with people that you like to watch on TV.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was like, just one day out of nowhere, the coach Hayes was following me, and I'm like, why in the world is he following me? And then the other guy started following me and talking to me, and I was like, oh yeah, you guys, I think I played with you.
That's so funny.
That's cool. It's weird.
All right, last one, because we're at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's your lucky number?
42. All day, every day, never gonna change. It's the easiest question there ever.
It's always 42. Like, what do you use 42 for? Like besides the number that you like?
Literally everything. Like anything that needs a number, that's 42 for me all the time. Everything. It's been my number since forever. Like
gambling.
Oh yeah, if gambling on anything, if I see a 42 on a scratch-off ticket, I get psyched, like I'm ready to go. It's like a winning number.
Well, it's this bad where we got some lottery tickets after the Super Bowl show, and he's like, "Is 42 one of the winning numbers? If it's not, just throw it away because it ain't gonna hit." And then on top of that, and then here, check this out. On top of that, we play 2K together, and my player comes in and he's wearing like number 0, and I'm like, "Dude, why are you number 0? That's kind of weird." But he went to a team where they wouldn't let him be 42.
Maddest I've ever been, dude.
So he waits till he can get traded to another team so he can be 42. He wanted to play there, but then he wants traded because he can't get the number.
So I'm always the Pacers with my player, and I'm always 42. Well, this year I was like, I'm gonna try something new, go to somewhere else, try to build it up, whatever. So I go to like the Warriors, and like I put 42, and all of a sudden I have 0 on in practice and stuff. And I'm like, dude, the game's fucked up. Why do I not have my goddamn number? And I go to change my number back to 42, and it just skips over it. So somebody else on the team has 42. So I instantly went in the settings to try to figure out how I could trade that player off the team. And so it won't let you on my player. So I had to fucking play this whole season. And I was like, in the off season, I'm leaving only because I want 42. So I picked like the Suns as my next team. I can't be number 42 on the Suns. I haven't played it since. I haven't played my player since.
Crazy.
He's so pissed about the 42.
No, serious.
That was the curse of me just not playing with the Pacers, I think.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably so. Man.
Yeah, it's the karma thing catching back up to me. But my uncle was number 42 when I was a kid, and I mean, as soon as I could pick my number, I wanted to be the same number as my uncle.
Right.
So I took 42, and then I got tons of cousins that took 42, and I got nephews now that are 42. So the 42 runs deep.
Family tradition now.
Rodney picked number 42 for Jackie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Jackie Robinson.
Nice.
Josh, what about you?
I don't really have one. A lot of times I'll go with 32 because that was my dad's number. So I'll wear 32 a lot. I wore it in basketball some. And then I'll go to number 40 a lot too. Like in football stuff, I like 40.
Yeah.
Nothing like big, like
there's nothing behind it, no reason, nothing. It's just a number to me.
You don't have any number that you obsess over?
Nope, none.
You got one, Juice?
I got too many, dude. I feel like I'm talking too much. I apologize, but no. 85 is huge for me because when I started football at Eastern Hancock as a freshman, my coach that was like my favorite coach, my favorite mentor, he was like, "What number are you?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know. I've never like really cared about my number. Like I've never worried about it." And he's like, "You're going to be 85." Cause I was 85. 85 is a good fucking number. And he threw me the jersey. So I was 85 for 2 years, but I was always obsessed with the number 7 because John Elway was my favorite quarterback. So number 7 has always been like, if I create a character in a football game, if I create a character in anything, they're number 7. Like they're always number 7. And so then my junior year, the guy that wore number 7 before me left. And so I kind of just like was like, all right, well, I'm number 7 now. And a bunch of people fought me over it because I was a defensive end, tight end, and I also played like on kick return, punt return, like basically never left the field. And like a bunch of people were like, no, you can't be 7 because that doesn't work for those like positions. And I was like, fuck you guys, I'm number 7. Like I'll be a long snapper and I'll be fucking number 7. So I was number 7 for two more years. And then so number 7, number 85 are big for me. And then number 13 has always been big for me too, because one of the guys that I looked up to as my idol in high school, he was a quarterback and he was number 13. And I was like, dude, number 13 is the coolest fucking number of all time. Even though it's like considered an unlucky number, I always thought like an athlete that was 13 is a badass because he's basically giving the middle finger to bad luck and saying, fuck you, I'm just too good to worry about 13.
What?
Do you know who it is, Duncan? Or do you ever get who was the player you looked up to?
I think you would know if I said
I'm already shaking my head because I think I know. Go ahead, say it.
Derek Harmon.
That's what I thought.
Oh, Harmon.
That's all.
Dude,
I was already shaking my head.
He was such a fucking stud at football. Like when we were in high school, man, I just used to fucking idolize that dude.
Dude, he killed us in sectionals.
He was an athlete though.
And that's what I wanted to tell you guys, like, now that we bring up Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon was known in our high school as never losing to Knightstown in football.
Yeah, and probably basketball too. So.
I don't know about basketball, but I know that he that's what we always talked about before games. He was like, I won't let us lose to Knightstown.
Pretty sure he lost to him my senior year, but
I don't remember. I don't know because because your senior year you were what 06?
His senior year.
Oh, that was your senior.
Yeah,
we didn't lose to you guys. We beat you because we won. I was playing as a defensive end varsity in 2003, and I know that he got knocked out in the middle of the game, and then he played the rest of the game with a concussion, and he like ran it in, scoring like on one of the last plays or something like that on a scramble, dude. And I remember us being in film the next day and him saying he didn't remember the second half of that game. Like he didn't.
Oh, wow.
He didn't remember anything that happened.
He might have been.
He was a beast.
He might have been younger than me then. Is he your age or?
No, he graduated my freshman year, 03.
He's a year below me.
I thought he was in the same class that I was.
Yeah, because he was a junior my senior year, and that's one of the best sectional basketball games ever, dude.
Oh yeah, and they went on a fucking huge run in basketball that year too.
Yeah, they went regionals. Man,
my year they went semi-state. They got smoked by Forest Park or something.
Forest Park, that was it. Semi-state. I was at that game. I was dressing that game because I dressed varsity for basketball too, but didn't fucking see the court ever. So I quit as a junior in high school.
All right, man. You gonna end this with Florida, man?
Yep, let's do it. Josh is over there Googling if we lost the Knightstown.
Hell yeah, I am.
Okay, so Florida Man, I'm going to try to steal Matt's thunder a little bit. A Florida Man is where Highly Inappropriate Googles a Florida Man live on the show, and then we talk about the news article. That works. Florida Man angry he didn't receive stimulus check through smoke bomb outside of Trump's Mar-a-Lago. A Florida man upset with former President Donald Trump's administration was arrested on Sunday for throwing a smoke bomb at Mar-a-Lago, the former president's residence. Stimulus checks started going out over the weekend as part of President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion relief package, and not receiving one reportedly irked Paul Rawls Jr., a West Palm Beach resident. While driving by the former president's home, he threw a smoke bomb out of the window and later admitted to it during a conversation with Palm Beach Detective Christopher Barber. Rawls spoke of his financial struggles and disdain for the former administration because he had not received his stimulus check from the government this weekend. Rawls reportedly told Barber, according to the affidavit.
Jeez, it's not Trump, right?
No, has nothing to do with him.
Yeah, this is Biden bucks now, boy.
Yeah. Around 1:30 p.m. on Sunday, Secret Service agents responded to a smoking and smoldering device in front of Mar-a-Lago and used security footage to identify the vehicle. Mar-a-Lago, once referred to as the Winter White House, has become Trump's full-time residence since he left office in January. My biggest thing is that I wanted to share about this article is, sad that this guy's struggling so much, but, he'll get his money eventually. But man, people are fucking living it up off this $1,400. That's where I think Matt is right now.
Well, it was funny you mentioned that because I was just getting ready to say if anybody sees anything smoking and smoldering around Shelby County, it might be Matt.
It's like only $1,400. Like, are people like living off of $1,400?
I'm sure.
Well, did you guys hear?
Sure, for some it is.
Did you guys hear the fucking news article in Indy where the guy like shot and killed like kids and like somebody else over a fucking stimulus check? He thought, he killed them over the fact that he thinks he deserves half. It wasn't even $1,400. It was $700 that he was asking for, and that he felt he should kill somebody over it. It's just ridiculous. Like I don't know. I'm kind of blown away by how all of this is affecting people.
The whole stimulus thing, I think, is crazy. I mean,
did you realize we're gonna have to pay this back?
It's a lot of
it's
like
money.
A
10-year like tax plan that he passed the other day. Like,
I read
it's coming out of your return for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I read an article that said that the tax plan that they're putting into place to help sustain this $1 trillion stimulus package is the greatest tax hike that we've had in 30 plus years. So we've never had this much of an increase in our taxes in 30 plus years. So it's going to happen now. So it's like, oh, we're going to pay it back, guys. Like, this is not free money. Like, it's not like, hey, here's a gift. I don't know. It just frustrates me.
Well, in a sense, it'll probably be passed on to us to pay, but I don't make $400,000 a year, so The tax increase isn't going to affect me. And the
That's
corporate
true.
tax, and it's a corporate tax increase too, which, you know, that's how it'll end up getting passed down to us down the ladder eventually. But I mean, I don't make that money.
The price to buy stuff will go up to get their money back.
That's how you'll see it. That's how you'll see it. But yeah,
they'll get their
gas
money.
Is going to be expensive as fuck again.
They'll get their money, baby. They'll get it.
Man,
it'll all work out, man. Money's
it's fine. And it's fine.
We can get into this whole money thing, but you know, they just, I don't know, man. Money's fake. So
I mean, Duncan's getting rich over there.
Bullshit.
Josh is getting rich over there. I just got a raise, dude. We're fine.
And it's, I mean, we're
fine.
We're good looking white men. We'll be all right.
No money, no internet. I want that world.
That's right. That's right.
I want to buy stuff with like animal furs and shit.
I mean,
pelts, animal pelts.
You're going to be in bad trouble if you have to start building your own shit, Duncan.
I'll be dead quick.
Better stay married.
I'll just stay your neighbor. You'll help me out.
I got you. All
right, boys. That was a highly inappropriate episode. How'd you feel about it?
Felt mildly inappropriate.
It was not. It was. I don't think it was all that inappropriate, but
I think we need to tell at least one dick joke before we get off, right?
Sure.
Just lift the head on that ashtray.
Yeah, there we go. There's a dick and bobble dick. We'll show you a little bobble dick. We'll get out of here.
All right, boys. It was good talking to you. Let's see you guys again next week. We got a lot of stuff coming for you.
All right, man.
Peace out, boys.
See you, bud.